top, I'm gonna.
If a vacuum cleaner sucks, then it doesn't suck. But if the vacuum doesn't suck, then it sucks. So every vacuum both sucks and doesn't suck at the same time.
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like a stakeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it.
Smile without your eyes. Raise your eyebrows. Stop smiling. That's your model face.
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark. Mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark.
Daddy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark. I have no knowledge of any of this. This is so bizarre.
This is so bizarre. Can you show me the book?
Show you the book. First edition.
Yu, what's the scariest experience that you ever encountered in life? I can do it. You're the person. How much water do you drink a day?
At least 1.5 liters.
1.5 liters.
Yeah, but if you want to lose weight, drink at least 3 liters of water. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao! Ha!
There he is. Come here, big man.
What do you need? What do we need? We need coffee. Okay. Right, we need coffee.
Now?
Yeah, well, soon, when we get to the rooms, right? We need coffee.
Okay.
And then the other thing is we need food.
Alright, okay. I'll get it, both of you.
Yeah, for everybody.
Of course.
And tomorrow.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are joining us here live in Zoom, and for those of you who are joining us on our social media channels, it's great to see all of you. Okay, so today we have a very exciting day. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Ching Tan. I am the co-founder and CEO of iSummit, and I'm proud to say that today is an amazing day because my business partner that I've known for close to a decade already has finally launched his book. All right, over here, I've got it right here, one of the first few copies. Why? Because I was there at the Breakthrough Retreat, and our participants were fortunate enough to get the very first copies of Your Money, My Idea, Our Profits. The simple solution to business growth through strategic partnerships, all right? And if you don't know who John Chong is, let me share with you a little bit more about him, okay? So I've been in the industry, the seminar industry, since 2012, and I've come across plenty of seminar organizers and producers, but there's no other seminar producers out there like John Chong, who truly cares so deeply for his clients, right? And he does it in such a way where he ensures that everybody whom he ever works with, whom he has the pleasure to serve, always comes out at the top at the end. He's a man with a great big heart, and I'm glad to call him my big brother as well. All right, and then today is also a very special day because it is his birthday as well. So let's give him a warm round of applause. Send your birthday wishes, be it on social media or in the chat. All right, yeah, let's celebrate the life of John Chong. So, if you are an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur or someone who just wants to start that entrepreneurship journey, you need to read this book. And let me tell you why. Okay, because one of the biggest challenges that entrepreneurs face is money, right? You've got this amazing idea that will help serve people, and then that people are interested in, but you just don't have the money or the resources to get the ball rolling. And this is where this book comes in to help solve that problem for you. How is it that you can leverage off other people's money with your idea and to generate profit for all? Again, the whole principle is all about win-win-win. And knowing John for close to a decade and being able to be his business partner, seeing how he deals with his business dealings behind the scenes, right? This man practices what he preaches, and not only that, he generates amazing multi-million-dollar results. So make sure you have your books, okay? You have your pen and notepad ready to jot down a lot of notes, right? And feel free to share within the Zoom chat what your questions are. And for those of you who are joining us on the live stream, if you want to have the opportunity to ask your questions, join us over here, okay? Go to summitasia.com/John Book Launch. Okay, the website is summitasia.com/John Book Launch. I believe our team members will be sharing the link in the comments. So join us while you still can. Okay, so keep your questions coming in, and then let's without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to John Chong.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you very much, Xing. And once again, thanks for having me tonight.
Thank you very much, John, and thanks for taking up this time to be with us today. For those of you who joined us right at the beginning of the session, you would see the video. Other than the talking images, it was a video sharing about the Breakthrough Retreat, right? Where day one, you would see us at the airport, coming in the airport, and then John behind the camera, in front of the camera, and sharing the beautiful environment and how he actually managed to bring over 20 souls from all around the world, to the beautiful island of Langkawi with just his idea and to leverage off the power of partnerships and his experience within the seminar industry. We've got people joining us from Australia. Of course, that's our CTO, Nicholas McIntosh. We've got Karen Allen joining us from the US, Michelle Gabriel all the way from Australia, Tak Covera all the way from the Philippines, Lara Gray from South Africa, Rosalina as well from the US. And then she took the opportunity to pop back to her hometown in the Philippines, right? So if you ever get the opportunity to join us at the next Breakthrough Retreat, hop on it, right? And then you may be asking yourself, how do I learn more about this Breakthrough Retreat? Just go over to grooveasia.cm/resources. And then that's where, if you just scroll down, okay, at let's see, resource number 4, the mastermind experience. All right, learn how to finally achieve the breakthrough at the ultimate mastermind retreat of a lifetime, right? Is a 2-hour presentation where I share with you, together with Simon, another one of our business partners over here, on how you can join us at the Breakthrough Retreat, get to rub shoulders with the likes of John Chong and many experts in the business and internet marketing industry, so that we can break through our limitations and go to the next level together, right? So go to grooveasia.cm/resources, click on resource number 4, and then that's where you will be presented about the Breakthrough Retreat and how you can join us. And remember, if you join us at the Breakthrough Retreat, you can get amazing bonuses just like this, right? The first edition copy, the pre-launch copies of Your Money, My Idea, Our Profits was given to our participants. And who knows what other bonuses you can get, right, in our next session. Okay, so John, today your birthday, take the time to be here with us. My question is that what drives you as an entrepreneur? It's like it's so grueling, it's so hard, with all the ups and downs. What keeps you going, after all of these years?
All right, so thanks for the question, Chingyu. To be very frank, I didn't expect that. Being the very first question that you're going to ask today, but I take on the challenge. So now just so you know that back in the day, probably almost 20 years ago, or more than 20 years ago, I was very obsessed to be a millionaire. Was very, very obsessed. And the reason behind it is not because I have a bucket list that I want to fulfill, or rather I want to buy a luxury watch, a big car, big house. It's not, but it's because since young, I have been bullied because of my family background itself. I came from a very humble family in a way, where I'm not ashamed to say both my parents, they are not if you read the book by Robert Kiyosaki, The Rich Dad and the Poor Dad, both my parents, they have that poor dad mindset, in my opinion, but still I love them. Because of that, right, they are not able to manage their income very well. So a lot of times, me, myself, and the other 2 of my siblings, we don't have enough not necessary food to eat, but it's more towards like we don't have the luxury to say, hey, mom, papa, I want that. None. All right, not until when I was 13 years old, which I come to my realizations that my parents is not able to provide me something that I really want in my life, at least during my teenage year. And the only things I can do is to find my own money. So guess what? At the age of 13, I was around slightly taller than the normal Asian dude, right? So I went into an interview and I smoked it through. I lied to the interviewer. He asked me, how old are you? Then I said, I am 16 years old. So because of that, he allows me to work as a banquet staff. So now throughout that experience itself, then only I realized in order for us to help ourselves, one of the very essential, very important thing is to be able to make money. So now during that, being a waiter of that, or rather banquet staff, right? I have no knowledge at all about money, no knowledge at all about business. But the only things that I know is most of the rich men, successful men in the market itself, they are either a businessman or they are entrepreneurs or they are investors, right? So now from there itself, I start to develop a habit of reading. Just so you know that I only start speaking English at the age of 20 something. All right. So just imagine at the age of 13, 14, right? Like you don't even know how to read, but still like, hey, by the way, those who are from Malaysia, I'm from Malay school. So Malay is definitely my first language in a way, not necessarily Chinese or Mandarin or Cantonese. In fact, Malay is my first language, right? So now, because of that, not able to read, not able to speak, but again, somehow and rather, I love to listen. Back then it was cassette, right? There's no CD, there's no MP3 or whatsoever. The most that you can get is a cassette. So I remember that my neighbor, they are kind enough to lend me some of their cassette tape, which is music that I happens to develop to listen to, which just so happened that they are a cassette by Kenny Rogers, by Bee Gees, and so on and so forth. Then from there, I start learning the lyrics. If you remember, if you're old enough, you should know that in any cassette, there is a lyrics just at the cover of the cassette tape itself, right? So from there, that is how I really start my English in a way. So because of that, it gives me a bit more confidence and say, hey, there's no harm for me to get a book and just try to read it. Then from there, I kind of develop of reading a book, just so you know. Then throughout that couple of years, I start to learn about money. How do I build relationship with money? And eventually, in summary, what I learned is that in order for us, for any ordinary people, right, individual like you and me, one of the way for you to be a financial free, or rather to be having that freedom of making a choice in your life just because you have that financial backups is to start your own business. So now, to cut long story short again, of course, as I said just now, it all started from that obsessed, right? I was so obsessed to that. How can I be a millionaire? What should I do? I mean, I'm pretty sure that there is a way to get things done. I'm not blaming my parents, not able to send me to a school, proper school, not even have a diploma, degree, or whatsoever. Right? I never blame them, but deep inside myself, I keep asking like, how should I? What can I do? What can I do? And just so you know that there are two different group of people that are able to make their a million almost instantly like that, or rather they will be eventually able to make their first million in their life. Number one, if you run a real a legit business, right? So regardless of any businesses that you're running, you will eventually able to make your first million. On the other group, you do something that is illegal, where in Chinese, they say in Chinese, it's much easier for you to make your million if you get yourself involved in something that is dark, something that is illegal in a way. It could be drugs, it could be anything that is not right, right? So now, just so you know that I do have friends, or a group of friends that are very much involved in that particular area where I was almost involved in some of the business, which very fortunate enough, I'm able to turn around and do the right thing instead. So now, as I said just now, just because of the obsess of making the first million, back then it's all about keep finding the way, how should I make my first million and so on and so forth. Then eventually I started several businesses and they keep failing. Then of course, the next step is all about getting more wisdom, or rather getting more guidance and help from the seasoned entrepreneurs, friends, or even a mentor, right? So to get them to mentor me in order for me to be able to be good in any business that I do. All right. So now, of course, along the way, I did engage a couple of mentors to guide me. They are not necessarily the public figure, prominent or world-renowned speakers that you heard of today. Not people like Gary V, not Simon Sinek, not even Simon Leong, Ching Yu, or Nicholas. They are just the a real practitioner that that is facing the day-to-day challenges when it comes to business in the market itself. So I'm very blessed that some of them, they are willing to help. And just so you know that because of that itself, right, it gives me that subconscious in such a way that that is how people treated me in the past. It's time for me to do the same thing or even greater than what they have done for me in the past. That's why, in case you're wondering, like, John, why you love to empower people, you love to help more, you love to impact people's life, and you love to do all the positive things to the new bloods, right, or rather to their anyone that's surrounding you, is partly because I am very blessed enough. Someone did it to me in the past. Then this way, because of that, I'm able to be who I am today in terms of not necessarily physically, financially, but in terms of getting me stronger here, mindset especially. So now, since I got married probably 10 years ago, my objective, or rather my goal, is shifted from, it's no longer obsessed with money anymore, unlike before I got married. When I was single, it's all about money, just so you know. I need more money, I need more money, I need more money. And partly because I need to help more people. Somehow it's a very interesting concept where I want the money because I need to help more people. And back then, I didn't understand it, why. But of course, today, I kind of understand why. It's because, yeah, I think maybe Ching Yu can share with the rest of them in a while. So now, after I got married, as I say, where I got my first kid, obviously, my focus, my goal is shifted from, I no longer want to, I mean, money is important. Money is everything, but everything is money, but money is not everything, right? Now, my goal is no longer just making money, but rather just to make sure that I show the real example, the good leadership to my family. It's not necessary to pass down my assets, my money to them, because I'm not going to do that, by the way, just in case you're wondering. I'm going to spend all my money before I go to meet our creator, right? But I'll probably leave them 5%, 10%, but the rest of it, you have to get it by yourself, all right? So my point is, I think, coming back to your question, it's more towards like, I'm struggling, just so you know, I'm struggling to show them the best leadership as a parent, as a father, to say that, hey, what is your purpose in life? Right? I mean, it's important for you to be good in academic, good in studying, good in everything that you do, find something they love and do them. But at the same time, it is important for you to understand, eventually you will graduate from your school. The moment that you graduate from your school, that is where you face the reality, the real society, the real life. So what are you going to do? All right. So now I think what I'm trying to say here is, to a certain extent, as I mentioned just now, I'm struggling to have the best model, or rather the best formula that I can apply by myself, I can implement to be the best father, at least in their eyes, on the leadership. That's why if I can relate to some of the incidents that happened good incidents happened in Langkawi, especially Peter. So every time when I look at Peter, it kind of reminds me, hey, John, that is your purpose of life, to be as good as Peter, because I am quite a miserable father, just so you know that. Now, so to answer your question, I think I need to make sure that I show them the best leadership. How do I do that? Is through something that I love doing, which is events, which is educations. Now, just so you know that I do not have the luxury of spending their first 5 years of their life. The moment they are delivered, I mean, my wife delivered them from the hospital, and this way I said, hey, honey, I need to go, I need to fly. Back then, right? That was almost 10 years ago, before the pandemic, where our life are totally different from today. So now, back in the day, I still remember both of my sons. I didn't really spend their first 3 to 5 years. I don't even have that luxury to witness them to speak for their very first time, to walk for their very first time. Everything is through video. All right. So because of that, it kind of reminds me that, hey, if I could turn back my time, how am I going to change my life? Am I going to reverse something? Am I going to do things differently? I don't have the answer for that right now, but I think what's more important, at least to me right now, is at this point of time, how can I show them the best leadership as a father, as a just so you know that I don't ask my sons to call me father, they call me Koko, Koko as in brother, right? They call me brother. I even ask them, just call me John, all right? Don't call me father or whatsoever. So my sons, they call me my name. I call them by their names. So now that is how unique we are in my family, at least. All right. So now being able to impact more life in whatever that I'm currently doing, which obviously involve many of you, right? That somehow it gives me certainty in such a way that is how I want my son to be groomed eventually, in such a way that, hey, now let's just talk about Nicholas, for instance, right? So how Nicholas as a person, now that is how I'm going to portray Nicholas to my son and say, hey, you know that I have working partners, one of my working partners by the name of Nicholas. This is what I've learned from him. And I want you to learn from him, although they never talk to Uncle Nicholas, they never really having that very intimate bonding with Nicholas. But at least what I normally do before they go to sleep, I always share with them like, hey, this is what I learned from Uncle Nicholas, Uncle Ching Yu, Uncle Simon, just so you know that both my sons, they love Ching Yu very much, just because he has a long hair, and they think that Ching Yu is a pretty boy. Now, I mean, I don't want to go further why, but I think both my sons, they say, hey, can I have a nice hair as Uncle Ching, which obviously my answer is no. Now, coming back to what I'm trying to say is, I think I myself, I learn from every single each of you, especially those who are close to me enough, that I always use some of your good characteristic, your good value in your life, and I always share your value to my sons, and hopefully they can be a greater human being than I am today. So because of these two things, one is very obsessed with the money, as I mentioned just now. The other two is because to a certain extent, I think this is where I need Pelly, as I mentioned. I'm still struggling. Like I don't know what else that I can do to make sure that I give them the best leadership as a father. But I think that is my current top priority in my life. Because of that two motivations, one side of it used to be money. The other side is to make sure that my sons, both my sons, right, they are going to be a good sons and good leader, and also good human, at least be a good human being when I leave this place. And reason why I emphasize on that part too much, just so you know that I grew up in a very, very, very nasty neighborhood. Now, it is probably one of the worst neighborhood here in Malaysia, which I'm not going to name the place itself, but it is a very nasty neighborhood where you see all kind of people. If you're not lucky enough, you probably surrounding yourself with people that might anytime pull you down and harm you for the rest of your life. And I am very glad that it didn't happen to me, but it happens to many of my close friends, where today is either they are no longer with us or they are serving their life sentence. So I think because of the background itself, it gives me a very strong determination to make sure that not only that I need to make sure that I do great things in this life, and make sure that I do the same things, at least to my sons, before I leave this place.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Wow. What an amazing sharing, John, and I'm sure it is a very heartfelt sharing that many of us can feel and relate to. And you know, if there's one thing that you get from John's sharing, you know, is that you can tell that John is a very caring and loving father. right? Even though you may say, I'm not the best father and all of that, but the fact is that his heart is always in the right place, and he's constantly open to learn and to grow from one another. And just as we are open to learn and grow from John as well, right? And with just a couple points through John's sharing, what's inspiring is that here we are hearing the story of how John came from a background where the environment was not necessarily the best, right, out there, but out of that environment and chaos, came out this determination, this vision to bring a better world, for his sons, for his family, and by extension to us all as well. And we are so fortunate to be able to live in this moment, together with John, and where he is someone who has honored his vision and to bring it to reality. Because as John mentioned, right, one of the things he said, when he started off, he had multiple failed businesses. Just out of curiosity, John, how many failed businesses was that?
Instead of giving you the straightforward answer, right? I think all the business that I started since 1998 and until 2012, I think on average every year I at least kickstart 3 to 4 different businesses. They are not necessarily a real business. It could be just a side hustle. They could be just becoming a stockist, trying to be some other products affiliates, and so on and so forth. So now, since 1998, 99 until 2012. So I lost count. How many years is that? I think probably like 10, 15 years. So now just multiply it by 3 to 4. So I guess that is the answer to it. But now that is not my point. Now, throughout this year, right, there's one thing that I learned the most: mindset. All right. So I think Nicholas said right all the time: take action. Right. Of course, what's next after take action is to make sure that you take the right action. So once you're able to know taking the right action is making sure that you're able to be consistent. In order for you to be while you're able to be consistent, that's where you become the legend within your industry. So all right. So now making sure that you're able to stick to that very simple yet very fundamental things, just take actions, right? So one of the things that I learned throughout their failure is this now. Mindset, as I say, right? So now, but the thing is this, in a very cliche way of saying, never thought of giving up because I'm always think that I'm still young, like, hey, F the 20s, F the 30s, maybe 40s, somewhere when you're 40s, you'll probably become the is it KFC or McDonald's? So either one, right? The old guy KFC, all right? So he's probably started at 60 something, all right? So now, use it as a benchmark. Maybe I can, even if I'm able to succeed in the 40s, right? I'm better than him. So now the thing is this, throughout all the failure, one thing that I learned is this, right? Having the right mindset. Be positive all the time, even though you don't have enough money in the bank, or even to the extent you don't have money in the banks, right? So be positive about it. And sometimes we just joke and say, hey, maybe the God want you to lose weight. What you do, drink more water, and say no all to the rubbish. Exercise more. Maybe this is where it's a sign from the God for you to lose weight, right? So now always be positive. So now when it comes to 2013, in fact, I approached you back in 2013. So technically speaking, it's already 10 years, my friend Ching Yu. So 2013, that's where I say, hey, educations. How? I don't know, but I'm going to figure a way out. So obviously start to get myself connected to people like Ching Yu, although Ching Yu was young, but try to understand, hey, Ching Yu, 10 years young Ching Yu, what do you want to be? Why educations? I learned from Ching Yu answer. Then I go to this cool guy that always wears sunglasses, even on the stage, say, hey, dude, you're from Hong Kong or America? I'm Hong Kong. But how come you sound like American? I'm also American, so I'm referring to Simon Leong. So I asked him a question many years ago through LinkedIn, just so you know, never face to face. Then from his answer itself, it gave me more clarity why education. So now, my point is this: once you, after going through so many failures, right? If you never give up, just like my own story, not trying to brag about myself, but the moment that you never give up and you finally realize the purpose of your life, which in my case is all about education, right? You'll be able to do greater than most people. Now, for those of you that have listening to me for many years now, like you should know by now that it took me just a couple of months, like to supersede, or rather to hit my 8 figures, 7 figures to 8 figures, just within months, just because not only mindset, I'm prepared, I know what I'm doing, and I have nothing to lose, with the mentality of I have nothing to lose, right? So I just all in and get things done right. And my wife was pregnant back then. I have zero stuff. I was the janitor, I was the sweeper, I was the customer service, I was the sales, I was the marketing guy. I don't even know how to send a email blast. I have to BCC everyone and CCC everyone. I know that it's a screwed up things, but I still do it. But I managed to get some result. So it took me 8 months in order for that allows me to not only to expand, but rather to go to the next level of my life, not necessarily as a human being, but also as an entrepreneur itself. Yes.
Wow, yeah. So, you know, it's been quite a journey for you. And you know, when did you come across or thought of the concept of your money, my idea, our profits, right?
Okay.
And then you always like to put it in the terms of strategic partnerships. Perhaps you could share more.
All right. Now, by now you should know that I started off my career path as a waiter, right? In fact, it was banquet first, then only waiter. Now, I am very fortunate that without any proper qualifications, someone within the hotel itself willing to take on some risk and put me as a receptionist. You know that is not the case at least in five-star hotel. In five-star hotel, all right, one of the most prominent hotel here in Malaysia. In fact, I used to be one of the employee of the year, but I'm not going to name the hotel. But now, to cut long story short, somehow I am very blessed that I've been given the opportunity to be promoted. All right, from a banquet to a waiter to the receptionist. Now, just so you know that from a waiter to receptionist, it means nothing to most of us. But to me, you know the feeling of able to wear a blazer when you have nothing? You know, as a receptionist at least, right? You have that cool blazer. It's never in my life to say, oh, I'm going to look so handsome with a blazer. I've been waiting until the moment they say, John, you're officially a receptionist today. Not today, but from now on. So it was a moment for me like, hey, oh, this is how it feels like wearing a blazer. Can I just put in a pant? I remember, I mean, those of you, I mean, all of you have been wearing blazer. It's nothing anymore, right? So now my way of doing things is like, there is an inside pocket, in the inner pocket, right? So now most people, they'll slot in a pant, just one, the most two, one black, one blue, different color, right? So what I did was like, I'll probably take 20 pants inside. Like I was so excited, I don't even know like what's the function of this. How come there is an inner pocket? Am I supposed to put a handkerchief here? So I was like putting a 20 thing. So that aside, job aside, being a receptionist, or rather being in the hotel for at least 7 years, 7 to 8 years actually. Again, I had the privilege to witness many business transactions that happens in the hotel itself. So now, as a receptionist, being working in a five-star hotel, you're not necessarily as a receptionist only. You can be a butler, you can be a VVIP butler, or assistant or PA, whatever they call it, right? So now, again, I was very lucky that I've been assigned to many VVIP as a butler. So now, throughout that career itself, I able to understand a little bit about business acumen in such a way that, hey, how come this businessman is meeting another businessman? And it keep repeating like, when I'm attached to a businessman A, they are doing the same thing. They are meeting. They always have a meeting, right? In either in the coffee house or within the hotel itself. Then when I'm attached to VVIPB, it's the same thing. Like it's always been meeting. So until at one point, right? I did ask myself, like, why they are meeting? Why don't they just run their business by themselves? Some from there I start to learn. Hey, most of the times, a business, they are tying a strategic partnership with another business in order for them to reach to the next path, the next level in their business itself. So from there itself, it kind of I do have that interest to understand more in such a way that, hey, did I miss out something in the past? Like why only I come to realizations that businesses, they tied up the strategic partnership. So from there, I start to go deeper into Keith Cunningham, if you heard about him. If not, then go and find his book. Try to understand. I was in my early 20s, right? Then this is how I start to, by the way, I start speaking English just because I have been promoted to be a receptionist. That's the only reason, all right? So then I start to learn a bit more about a business, Keith Cunningham. There's a lot more, all right? Then from there, I got to know, hey, this is the way to go. So now, after the hotel line itself, after working in the hotel, this way, I'm very lucky that able to jump into another career as a business development. And then from there, again, given the opportunity to tie up many potential business opportunity in the market itself. And of course, when it comes to 2013, where I start working on Summit, which is formerly known as Summit. Today it's called as iSummit, right? By then, I already have enough experience, enough knowledge, and enough understanding when it comes to the do and don'ts, how to get things done, how to speak to people, how to act confidently, and how to think the way how they think. How do I make sure that I do the right due diligence before I present, before I propose my idea, before I say what I want to say, before I even pitch to them, like what are the potential areas that we could collaborate together. So now, again, when it comes to 2013, that is where with all the past experience I have, with all the past studies I've done, due diligence and some a mentorship from some individuals, then it gives me more reason to say, being as you know by now, being an event producer, I am definitely not the professional speakers. By now, you should realize it. So now, in order for me to able to succeed or to have that quantum leap within the educational events producer, is to have that partnership with someone that able to speak, just like Ching Yu, just like Nicholas, or even Simon. So in a nutshell, you need to have a speaker under your umbrella, under your brand, under your wing. So now what I did was to knock everyone's door and say, hey, I'm going to start these events, education events under Summit. Can we work on the profit sharing? I will be responsible on A, B, C, D, E, and what you have to do, you just need to do A. Just one thing. The rest of it, I'll do everything. We go with profit sharing. Of course, you start seeing more rejections before the yes. People reject you for 1,001 reasons. People reject you because there's no trust, there's no credibility, there's no substance. People don't know who you are, and so on and so forth. But as long as you come with the strong determinations, that desire, eventually you will be able to get someone to say yes. And from there, just so you know, that Ching Yu is definitely one of the very first person that I talked to, although never putting him to speak on the stage directly, but say, hey, Ching Yu, you'll be speaking on the stage, but not immediately. What we can do is we work on another partnership instead. Then, of course, start reaching out to people like Simon and so on and so forth. Then, of course, as I said, the more people that reject you, say no to your idea, you will eventually meet up with a very small group of people that will have that faith, that trust in you, and say, hey, let's do it. Now, of course, with that experience itself, it gives me more confidence in such a way that, hey, I think instead of just reaching out to the domestic speaker, Simon is not necessarily domestic, because when the time that I got to know him, I think he was not residing in Malaysia, or rather in Southeast Asia yet. But I think coming back to what I'm trying to say is once you have that a certain confidence in terms of, hey, it works, strategic partnership work. Not only it works benefiting me on my business, it's also benefiting the counterpart partners as a speaker. It also they are happy with the end result. So it gives me more confidence in such a way that, hey, let's go bigger. So guess what? I reached out to a Virgin group and said that, hey, I want to be your exclusive marketing arm in Asia. Just so you know, back in the day, we were selling the, if any of you want to fly to space, you can still reach out to me. I have a ticket for you. All right. So Virgin Galactic, we call it. So if you have interest to fly and fly together with Sir Richard Branson to wherever it is, right, with the Virgin Galactic, right? As I say, reach out to Ching Yu. Ching Yu will be able to accommodate it, coordinate it for you. So now, as I said just now, I reached out to them and said that, hey, let me be your marketing arm in Southeast Asia. And then to cut long story short, they agree. And just because of that, it gives me that opportunity to get closer to Richard Branson himself directly. And because of that, he is happy to speak at one of our biggest event in Vietnam back in 2015. So now, throughout all these experiences, again, it's a collective experience, it's a collective accomplishment, and also it will eventually build your confidence until striking or getting any strategic partnership, be it on the just a conventional strategic partnership, or even the best thing that could happen within the strategic partnership is someone is paying you to do what you're good at, which in the layman terms is it is called cash sponsorship. So just because I do have that experience, that confidence, and that strong desire, that determinations, right? Not only that I'm able to have a very long-lasting kind of a fruitful strategic partnership within most of the speakers that we used to work with, and also I'm able to embark into millions of cash sponsorship that kind of helped me to expand Summit into the bigger Summit as what you are seeing today. Yeah.
Wow. And so hearing and just doing a bit of mental calculation, you mentioned that it took about 14 years of back-to-back failures in business, and then you times 4. That's wow, that's already a lot. That's a lot of businesses, right? And then, but you finally had that breakthrough, and then to be able to work closely together with Sir Richard Branson, being the exclusive partners or promoters here in Asia, and then also being able to host him in Ho Chi Minh City for the very first time in Vietnam with 7,000 over people, right? So what would you say to those people who may be listening and say, but John, 14 years, I don't have that 14 years. So what would you say to people like that?
Straightforward answer, get the book, be our protege. You get all the golden nuggets inside. All right. So now you definitely learn from Nicholas, Tak, Karen, Laura, Rosalina, Simon, Ching Yu, including myself, Pelly, Joshua. There's so many talents within our protege group. So now I think that is definitely one of the most efficient, effective, and fastest way for you to succeed in any form of strategic partnership. And that also might potentially include your existing business. All right. So now, of course, apart from that itself, for whatever reason, if you think that being a protege is not what you really that you are into, what you can do is now always get the right mentor. I think that itself, it helped me personally a lot. So whether you're getting Simon, Nicholas, Ching Yu, or any of us here to be a mentor, I think that is not the point. My point is you have to be willing enough invest in yourself first. Now, if you don't have the time, invest in yourself. But if you are so stingy and not willing to invest in yourself, invest in the time. So either way, there's no shortcut to it. It's either you invest in your time, you take the 14 years, you keep failing, and potentially, eventually, you will succeed at one point on the 15 years, just like how I did it. Now, or else, you invest in yourself by engaging a mentor. So invest educations, invest knowledge into yourself. Knowledge is no longer cheap. That's the reality. Yeah, you can get free knowledge from ChatGPT, from YouTube, but nothing beat if you invest a real educations, getting a mentor to guide you, to hands holding, to make sure you are doing the right things, and it potentially shorten your path from 14 years potentially to 14 months or even 14 weeks. Now, it's just like, let me share with you a story. Back in the day, I used to be 120 over kg. All right, this was back in 2017, 18, 120, I kid you not, 120 with my long hair. All right, so I think it was until here. All right, so like a bit look like homeless guy, 120, like long hair, curly hair, things like that. So it took me years to say, hey, I've been trying to lose weight. I've been trying to do this, do that. It took me years to say, hey, I failed. But the moment that I invest in a certain X supplement and engage a trainer, personal trainer, to make sure that he spends at least 3 days a week. I spend thousands of ringgit every week just on the supplement. It took me 3 months to lose like 20 kg, and I'm able to sustain it from 120 to 100 for at least years. So today I'm at 109. Just so you know that I used to be 80 something at my the best idea body weight. I was at the 80 something, but today I gained back because I MCO. Don't blame me, blame the MCO, blame the lockdown. So there's no way for me to do my exercise, right? So again, my point is this: you have to willing to spend, invest, and it require money. All right, invest education, invest knowledge in yourself in order for you to shorten the time frame before you hit the breakthrough. Otherwise, I think it is obviously not the most ideal situations for you to keep reinventing the wheel and trying that. And when the time that you break through, you come to realize that, hey, I've wasted 14 years. So don't do that. But instead, find a way how to make that money, invest in yourself first so that you're able to grow and hit that quantum leap and eventually be a greater you. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, John. And yeah, definitely one thing that I've learned throughout all of these years, being able to work closely with you, with Simon, with the team that we have over here, is that there's a power in community. All right, being able to work together with other leaders who will essentially hold each other accountable, right? We all have our ups and downs in our lives, but when we have each other, we are able to go so much more further, right? Sometimes, we have people in our community who, drops off the radar for personal reasons or whatever reason, right? But we are always here with open arms to welcome them back and to get back on track. And I think this is one of the most powerful things that you, together with Simon, and all of the leaders here, has created, to be able to grow together, regardless of how challenging it is and regardless of how long that it takes, right? Because as the saying goes, we all have our incubation period. I believe it's Warren Buffett that says it. We all have our incubation period. If you want to have a baby, you cannot just impregnate a woman and be like, hey, baby, now, right? You still need that time. And we all have our respective incubation period. But that incubation period can be so much more smoother and fun when we have a community here together. So, if for those of you, if you're interested in learning more about our community, go to groveasia.cm/resources, and then within that resources, you will be able to find free trainings within our calendar here, because we also believe in investing back to our community, giving back to our community. And if you actually go through our free trainings, our challenges that we do, you will see that we are unlike any other communities out there, because when we give, we really give. We don't just tease and then show you, oh, you can do this, do that. We actually give you the meat, right? So check out grooveasia.cm/resources, and then that's where you can see all the latest trainings that we have. The mastermind experience is where the breakthrough retreat is all about, where you can meet live in person, rub shoulders, have fun together, and work on your own personal branding and your personal breakthroughs, right? We do have Unlock the Power of AI coming at the end of the month, and then plenty more other bonuses over here. So again, it's grooveasia.cm/resources. And then if you ever are interested in the Brought the J program, I believe there is a link over here as well, right? So just otherwise reach out to one of our teams, and then you'll be able to learn more about it. So John, as we go towards the end of our session, if there was one lesson and one message that you could share from Your Money, My Idea, Our Profits, and just so you know, okay, guys, even though you see that this is thin, I'm already getting tons of gems out of it. But you know what? This is just the pre version, right? This is the early manuscript. The ones that you will be getting will be at least 4x this, right? 200 pages or so. So what is that one lesson that you would like people to get out of Your Money, My Idea, Our Profits?
All right, thank you very much, Chinyu. So now, by the way, I didn't realize there's a stool over there. Like, huh? But it's all right. Okay, now, I'm not going to give you the direct answer to that question, but rather I want to frame it slightly differently. I mean, from a very different perspective, if you don't mind, right? So now, I am pretty sure that most of us here in the room right now is either you have your own side hustle, you are working professional, you are working adults, or you're working for someone else, or you are solopreneur, or even you have your own real business, you are managing a team of staff under your payroll whatsoever, regardless of whatever background you are, right? And also regardless how many times that you have failed in the past. So I'm pretty sure that all of us, we want to stay positive most of the time. And the thing is this, what I'm trying to say is this: a lot of times, in fact, I'm pretty sure that many of us here in the room, to a certain extent, we always ask ourselves, how can we be a better business person, business owner, entrepreneur on the day-to-day basis? What do I mean by becoming a better entrepreneur? It is not necessarily making more money. It is not necessarily having more revenue. It is not necessarily having more a market share, conquering more market share, not necessary, but that might be the case also, by the way. It could be, hey, how can I potentially positively impact more life through my services, through my products, through my business, or whatever it is, right? So now, regardless of your objective, I think it is important for each of us to always remind ourselves. Now, you have to be very clear of what you need from a business point of view, from a business perspective, and also from the owner of your own business. You have to be very clear on probably two things. Number one, you have to be very clear of what you need for your business versus what do you want for your business. Now, if you're not able to distinguish what do you need for your business versus what do you want for your business, strategic partnership might not be a game for you to embark on. Reason is because when it comes to any strategic partnership, you need to be able to distinguish what do you need for your business versus what do you want for your business. If you fail to do that, I'm there to share that there's no one that is willing to partner with you until you are crystal clear what do you need, what do you want, and who you are. But of course, there is a next question after the what do you need and what do you want. So now I think one of the things that you have to start asking yourself from now on, regardless of whatever demographic you are, your background, ask yourself what your business needs right now. What's your business want? What do they want? What do you want for your business? What do you need for your business? So now once you have that, then you can start to consider to get my book and read it and get some golden nugget in it. Otherwise, do your own due diligence, buy other books that might potentially help you in terms of not necessarily on the strategic partnership, but in a nutshell, to grow your business. Now, of course, one thing that I can share about strategic partnership is this: it comes with more pros than cons. Reason is because it does not require upfront investment financially. It just require upfront positive mindset. And as long as you are very crystal clear of, as I mentioned, so what do you want for your business and what do you need for your business? Once you have that in mind, I am very confident that you can embark to any potential partners in your own market and potentially have that a business relationship with any people that you intend to work with. Now, of course, the last thing I just want to share here is this, of course, once you have the crystal clear answer to what does your business wants or versus your business needs, right? Once you have that answer, I think what's next is you have to be very consistent in terms of reaching out to people that you intend to work with, because trust me when I say you will face more rejections, you see more objections, you see more people say no to your idea, to your proposal, or to whatever that you have in mind before they say yes, because that requires a very strong mindset. And this is not the short-term game. Now, the thing is once you're able to embark to the with a big brand, small brand, or even the medium brands, right? The good thing is that relationship will last literally for the rest of your life, at least on the relationship, not necessarily on the business partnership. All right. So now, as you all know by now, I'm pretty sure that most of you will agree with me. In life, having a good relationship with as many people as possible, it could be potentially one of the best things that could happen to your life. So I guess that might potentially give you a more positive impact while you're running your own business. Yeah.
Okay, so in a nutshell, as John says, be clear on what you need for your business rather than just what you want. Okay, what do you need to make your business happen? What do you need to take it to the next level? And then from that clarity, you will learn how to leverage the knowledge and insights shared from decades of John's experience, and probably from all of the other decades of experience that John has learned from his mentors in this book, Your Money, My Idea, Our Profits. You'll be able to go to grooveasia.cm/johnbook to be able to be one of the first few to get this copy. All right, the full copy will be 200 pages. It's your money, my idea, our profits. You can get your copy here. Start creating profitable partnerships with just your idea. Right, and then fill in this form. And many of you have been asking, oh, what's the investment? What's the price? Well, imagine being able to bring decades of experience at your fingertips, accessible at your fingertips, building multi-million-dollar brands. How much is that worth for you? You can get all of that knowledge for only $25 US. Okay, for only $25 US. This is excluding shipping. Okay, this is excluding shipping. You can get as many books as you want for your friends, for your family, for your business partners, so that you all are aligned and on the same wavelengths, right? It's only $25 US, excluding shipping. Just fill in your details, submit it, and then you will receive an email confirming your purchase. And then following up to that, you will get an email on how we will sort out all of the shipping over to you. All right. So with that, Thank you very much, John, for sharing with us and, for taking your time to be here on your birthday. And just so officially, iSummit also has been birthed today. We've got the final confirmation from the company secretary today, right? So perfect. Okay, John's book launch, brand new chapter for iSummit. And thank all of you for joining us live, and for those of you who are joining us on social media, we thank you as well. On the replay, thank you very much. Get your book. It's grooveasia.cm/johnbook. You will see it in the comments, you will see it in the chat, you will see it on the page in the replay. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye for now.